All right, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. So thanks to everybody that is on the call, both those that are going to be presenting and those that are attending over the phone. This is the 2013 Spring Meeting Preview for the 3-on-1 Synergy Group. The 3-on-1 Synergy Group does, hold on a second, there we go. Lisa, presenter. Hold on, so we'll work through some couple issues here. Great. All right. So the 3-on-1 Synergy Group. For those of you that are familiar with the group, it's an industry group based on 311 call centers, but also centers that are providing general city services, not necessarily in a formal 3-on-1 environment. So we are really open to all municipalities that have any kind of a call center or thinking about having a call center to deal with general citizen requests. We share information, we get together, it's educational, it's definitely fun, and it is an event that I think a lot of us are all looking forward to every year. I am your chairperson, Andy Maimoni, Deputy Director of the 3-on-1 Customer Service Center in San Francisco. We also have Mr. Tannenbaum, who is the Division Manager, City of Albuquerque, on the phone as well, and she is the Vice Chair of the Synergy Group. We are inviting you this year to our spring meeting. It is April 28th to 30th at the Tampa Convention Center. It's going to be really good. We've got an agenda that's been packed full of a lot of great both educational, informational, and networking time. And we actually had to start the thing earlier. We are starting it before lunch on Sunday just so that we can fit in a combination of both content and networking time. As always, we use the LinkedIn group for communication. It's a great spot to ask questions, to share information, and we will have slides available after this call, posted there and on the 3-on-1 Synergy Group page in CS Week. So what we're going to have today is a great session. First, I want to thank our sponsors for the 3-on-1 Synergy Group. We have AT&T, who could not make us on the call this morning. We have Oracle, and we have Kana. So we'd like to thank all of our 3 Diamond sponsors for their participation both in the conference and today on the webinar for sharing information with us. So today's webinar is going to be, again, an introduction of what you're going to hear about in the spring meeting. The reason why we do this preview is for those of you that haven't been able to decide to attend or not, to give you that last little choice of being able to go. For those of you that are attending, it's a great chance to start thinking about what you're going to hear. So today's lineup is going to be Don Stickney from Minneapolis going over the 3-on-1 comparative survey, just all the different things that we find out about 3-on-1 centers nationwide. Christy Wood from Oracle is going to be sharing about what makes a great customer service experience. Diane Thomas from Garland is going to be talking about all the things that are happening to call centers and the stress and how to mitigate stress. Donna Archea from City of Riverside is going to be talking about why does it matter, to have a quality program. I mean, it's public service, but yeah, it matters completely that we do it with quality and care. Steve Carter from Kana will be talking about mobile apps and how mobile apps and social media improve the citizen response. And then we'll have Gil Mesa from the City of Arlington talking about virtual agents and what did that mean to them. And this is just a sample of the content that's going to be available at the conference. A couple differences this year, and I want to just highlight a few of them. Is first of all, we're starting on Sunday morning. And we're starting on Sunday morning based on feedback from last year, which was we had a lot of great content, but there wasn't enough time just to get to know the other people that were attending. And so we are allowing more time for sharing. We've got an offsite reception on Monday, just getting out of the center. Since you are downtown Tampa on the river, we're going to get out of the hotel and enjoy a nice offsite reception. Disney has agreed to open up their call center for a tour. If you are interested in that, you want to register for that on CS Week. There's a process on the website for doing that. We have our first ever 3-on-1 Synergy Excellence Award coming up this year, and that'll be exciting too. to hear about, what happened, who was selected, and why. And again, more time for discussions, more time for sharing, and just really, getting interactive with the rest of the people from the 3-in-1 Synergy Group. Who's represented? As of right now, we've got folks from Nova Scotia to LA, which is pretty good, going as far north as Edmonton and down to Tampa. So 4 corners, and we're hoping to fill in these dots. If you don't see your dot up there, maybe you're not registered. But again, it's going to be a great conference coming up this year. So I'd like to do is hand this over to Don Stickney from Minneapolis. And he's going to be going over our annual comparative survey that we do and just kind of really highlight what you can expect to hear when you get down to Tampa. Don?
Great. Thanks, Andy, and good morning, everybody. Greetings from the city of Minneapolis, where spring has decided to show up a little bit late this year. Anyway, I just want to get started here by saying we're really looking forward to our panel discussion at the conference coming up in Tampa. As most of you know, we do an annual survey in conjunction with the 3-in-1 Synergy Group, and we get just tons of data from that. And I don't know if it's true for you, but I always get all sorts of questions about how do we compare to other cities and other centers, and what are we doing? What could we do better? Are there any best baselines or best practices that we should be looking at? And really, that's really what this survey does, is that it pulls a lot of that information together. Last year in our survey, we had over 60 people who responded, and 46 nearly completed the entire survey. We had a very detailed webinar back in February, on February 20th, and everybody that responded to this survey got a detailed report of the database so they can look at all the ins and outs and who does what and what the results are for the various respondents. We did have a summary paper that was put together, which was available for everybody, and everybody that was a part of that was emailed a copy of that summary, and that summary also is still available and will be available through the LinkedIn 3-in-1 Synergy Group website. The other thing we're going to try to turn around was last fall we did the survey, and that was for fiscal year 2011. We're going to try to turn around and do 2012, the fiscal year 2012, yet this spring, and have that information available at the conference. So what we're going to do is that later today we'll post out on the 3-in-1 Synergy Group LinkedIn site the link to the new survey. And we've made some improvements to the survey, so hopefully it works a lot better for everybody. And we'll get that out there and hopefully get that turned around so that we can have a lot of current data for up through 2012 for the discussion at the panel. So we're really excited about all of that. We're going to be looking at all sorts of things from key measures, trends, new ideas, and initiatives. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we've gotten a lot of feedback, and we always ask this question: how many people would like to be involved in a technical survey? And one of the things we want to do at the conference is to frame that up a little bit better so that we can put together that technical survey. So that's the kind of information people are looking at as ACD technologies, CTI technologies, CRM technologies, all of those kinds of things, mobile apps, all that kind of stuff is together in one spot. So we're really excited about having that survey ready, probably for midsummer, to send out and then be able to share that later on next year so people can start comparing and contrasting what the technologies are that they use and find out the contacts. So that's kind of just a brief introduction into what we're going to be doing at the conference and reviewing those survey results and doing that more in detail. We've done this will be our 4th year, so we're really seeing some interesting trends start to emerge with that. So with that, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today, and I'll turn it over to Christy Wood from Oracle. Christy, here you go.
All right, thanks, Don, and good morning, everyone. I'm excited to be presenting today and looking forward to the 3-in-1 Synergy meeting in Tampa. My name is Christy Wood, and I'm a solution architect with Oracle, focusing specifically on the public sector and the 3-in-1 market. So welcome to the age of the customer. Citizens are demanding that governments change the way they interact with the public. They demand and expect an exceptional customer experience on their terms and their conditions. And because citizens are demanding that exceptional experience, there's a disconnect in the way governments traditionally have delivered that service. A study done back in 2010 shows that citizens want to interact with agencies online and in their own time. They think government service can improve and that it will take governments 1 to 5 years to catch up to technology. That was 3 years ago. Has your city or municipality changed the way it's servicing its customers? So what defines a great citizen experience? It requires looking at your business processes from the citizen's point of view, ensuring that as agencies we provide a consistent voice regardless of the channel citizens choose to interact with us. Provide connected interactions and eliminate the need for a citizen to enter or relay the same information multiple times. And providing a personalized journey for citizens will lead to efficient service and a more rewarding experience with our citizens. So how can government agencies get started? Well, complexity, choice, and cost is going to dictate how you provide a compelling citizen experience. So number one, you need to understand your customer touch points. What are your customer moments of truth? Citizens are interacting with one another across differing phases of the customer experience life cycle. Testimonials and complaints are easy to find in the socially networked world. You need processes that amplify engagement and turn your citizens into promoters to help you increase public awareness and satisfaction. And two, we need to establish a knowledge foundation. Social media has evolved knowledge management from static data residing in structured databases to dynamic, unstructured data created in every social interaction. By enabling customer service reps to deliver consistent, relevant answers across touch points, agencies are investing in the creation of a transformational state of knowledge, which is key in delivering great customer experiences. And three, offer self-service. Sophisticated citizens' private sector experiences dictate the expectations of what level of service they want to receive in their public sector interactions. Citizens are more inclined to search for an online solution to their issue rather than being led through a series of automated questions or waiting on the telephone. They want to be able to type in a few commands into their smartphones and get that instant e-guidance. Increasingly, citizens expect to get the information they want, when they want it, in whatever way they choose to access it. And four, go mobile and social. Citizens expect government to enable all channels, including requesting service from their mobile devices and interacting through social media. And then proactively soliciting feedback. By soliciting feedback, agencies can ensure they're hitting the right points with citizens and adjust their processes as needed. So what are the specific challenges facing 311 contact centers? Being efficient and responsive to citizens' needs by providing a complete multi-channel experience, having a solid knowledge foundation, utilizing process-driven workflow, and providing alternative interactions through self-service, mobile, and social channels will lead to empowered departments through service automation based on best practices, integration to back office and work order systems, and providing department-driven communication as well as departmental reporting. All of that leads to accountability by giving complete and transparent accountability through executive dashboards and system reporting as well as GIS-driven reports to proactively address issues and concerns. And finally, choosing an appropriate platform for your 311 technology. We offer several options for delivery models, including on-premise, SaaS or a cloud model, or a hybrid approach, which might consist of some on-premise technology mixed with cloud offerings. No matter which option you choose for your agency, ensure that you have upgrade flexibility to ensure your technology can grow with you over time. So this diagram depicts a typical architecture for a complete 311 offering. Again, Oracle offers several options, including on-premise, a SaaS or a cloud approach, or a hybrid approach. Our on-premise solution consists of Siebel Public Sector CRM, which can be seamlessly integrated to back office, work order management, and GIS systems. Oracle also delivers out-of-the-box integration with business intelligence and social relationship management. Our cloud offering, or our SaaS offering, is Oracle Right Now. It provides the premier SaaS CRM offering for government agencies. It provides a consistent citizen experience through the contact center, web, and social experience. Right Now can also be seamlessly integrated with back office, work order management, and GIS systems. With both models, municipalities can be assured they will deliver an exceptional citizen experience. And finally, one of the biggest challenges facing cities and municipalities in today's society is the social experience. Social relationship management delivers the critical components and expertise you need to focus on the right things, scale and expand social into and across your agencies because your citizens expect it. And with that, I'll go ahead and hand it over to Diane Thomas from Garland, Texas. So Diane?
Thank you so much, Christy. I'm Diane with Garland, Texas. Is anybody stressed? Show your hands. I saw that. Okay, let's move on into some of the things that we're going to be talking about on our panel discussions, how economic conditions have affected customers, employees, and you. Attendance. Is it better, worse? Has it remained consistent? Is it on a roller coaster? We're going to talk about the trends that everyone is experiencing. Productivity. Are you seeing a rise in call handle time or maybe an increase in after-contact work? What's going on and how is this affecting us? We'll find out the areas of greatest impact. Employee attitudes. That's a good one. Have you noticed a difference in how your employees are working together as a team? We'll be talking about ways to make it work together. We have customer relationships. We can succeed in being the best. Have your customers become more demanding, irritable, and impatient? In today's economy, everybody is a little bit on the harder side than what they used to be. So stress not only affects us, it's affecting our consumers just as much. And then we have some FLA information that we'll also be discussing. Is it being used as an out in some cases based on the stress of our current economic conditions? Be sure to catch the panel discussion on Sunday, April the 28th from 2 to 3 for many answers to these questions and an opportunity to have a great time, make new contacts and friends. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Donna Archia with the City of Riverside, California.
Thank you, Diane. Welcome, everybody. And here's some highlights of a talk we have planned for you at the meeting. Let's see, I'm not sure, but my slides are not advancing, so I don't know if anybody else is seeing that problem. In any case, what I want to talk about today is quality programs, whether you're creating one or updating yours. We all know that in our 311 contact centers, as in most call centers, we have technology to measure many things. From ACD systems, telecommunications systems, we measure how many calls the reps handle, how long those calls last, the time of day that the most calls come in, abandoned calls, average wait time. We've got our CRM systems that help us identify the types of services most requested, the department response times to those services, and we may have other tools that can help monitor social media channels, count the number of emails received and when responses went out, or we might figure out, oh, here we go. Thank you. Thank you. So I just got my slides updated. Sorry about that. We have other tools, like I said, to monitor other channels, and we might have to figure some of this stuff out manually if we don't have a system that will help us track those social media channels or count those emails and so forth. Whenever you are creating a quality program for the first time or revamping one that you already have, it's important that what you focus on to measure with regard to the agent performance is aligned with your department objectives. You got to find the key performance indicators that matter most. That will lead towards achieving the overall goals of your department and your organization. Things you focus on have to be measurable and within the rep or CSR's control to make improvements on. I've been revamping my program in Riverside to focus more on the quality of the call and resulting service requests that go hand in hand with the city's objective to respond to service requests more quickly, to improve our overall efficiency, and to save money wherever possible. To accomplish this, I decided to focus on the following key performance indicators. Of course, as always, our customer service skills, our listening and questioning skills specifically, the quality of the information we're dispensing, and above all, the quality of the resulting service request so that we help the departments that do the field work to be more productive by providing a detailed problem description, location information, and anything else that they ask us to get for them that will help them be more efficient. We also do our best to avoid creating duplicate requests for the same problem, to avoid crews needing to make multiple trips, or to have difficulty finding the problem. In order to measure these things with an emphasis on SR quality, I had to revise my existing quality monitoring forms, which had previously been more generic and were not weighted in the areas of greater importance. In order to help ensure a consistent agent or rep experience when quality monitoring, it is important to control subjectivity, and one tool for doing this is calibration. At the Synergy meeting, a team from Austin, Texas will outline their calibration program that has been very successful in this area. And of course, we need to monitor and improve the quality of our written interactions, such as email or text, to better communicate with those that use our web forms, social media, or mobile apps to make contact with the city. So we need to find ways to monitor and measure that. As I said, we got tons of call center stats and other things to measure depending on the scope and technology available in our centers, and I'll be looking forward to your feedback on what you're doing in your centers when we meet in April. Let me go to my next slide. Next slide, please. Thank you. Once we've developed and updated the things we want to measure and improve on, ensured that they're achievable and calibrated, we've got to ensure that we are recognizing the improvement and achievement of these goals in our 311 teams. Everybody wants recognition for a job well done or their hard work and effort to make improvement. They want to know that their contributions are valued. It helps keep them motivated and engaged and will go a long way to help you achieving the overall goals of the center. At the meeting, Donna Williams-Ormond from the city of Richmond, Virginia, will tell us about a friendly competition that they created to help make their quality program more rewarding and fun for all involved. I'll mention a few kinds of recognition or reward on a budget that we use. First and foremost is the sincere thank you or pat on the back. It lets the reps know that you recognize their achievement and hard work, and it's completely free to give. Emails that we like to call Attagirls with gold stars also help us recognize our stars. And another big one for us is to allow those who stretch to achieve their goals is to have them take an off-the-phone responsibility to give them a breather from the constant grind of handling phone calls or emails, like working on a morale activity committee or possibly attending a monthly city meeting representing the 311 group, and then come back and give a report to the rest of the reps. So our reps really like that sort of recognition. It goes a long way, and like I said, when you're on a budget, it's great to do things that don't cost much. Look forward to seeing everybody at the meeting, and now I'd like to pass it over to Mr. Steve Carter from CANA. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, everyone. What I'm going to talk about today are some things we're going to be talking about in Tampa at the Synergy Group and on display in our booth at CS Week about some of the things we've seen around digital by default, which is the theme that a lot of citizens are expecting government to be available online, on the phone, on the web, and on mobile apps, and talk about some of those applications and social media devices that can be utilized to improve customer service. And a big push from that is that one of our key guys at CANA, who runs our worldwide product strategy, believes that by 2020 we're going to see phone-based communication be one of the smallest areas channels. We're still going to get a large percentage of communication by phone, but we think these other areas are going to grow so fast that you're going to have to be looking equally as much at the other channels as you do traditionally phone today. And a lot of that is driven around the fact that we see citizens as data collectors. So the idea that you see the MERCAT who's out on the alert, he's watching out for what's going on, But the fact that we've got citizens equipped with devices now that are smart, that can tell us location, that can send us photographs, they can record images of what the actual problems are, is that we're getting real-time data from the field now. And adding that into how do you deliver customer service, provide it, and respond, and deliver that service to resolve those issues is going to change the way a lot of our customers think about this. When we look at the types of mobile apps that are going out there now, the ability, to understand exactly where the location is before the crews leave, the types of transactions we're going to do, we think are going to grow and change. Instead of just reporting a pothole and sending us a picture, down the road people will do things like pay for something, or they want to reserve a space at the park today for a family reunion. As they do more types of transactions like that, we're going to see the breadth of what people do on these devices expand. And when we start thinking about the fact that these devices not only give us a great location using GPS-aware and location services, the fact that we can see the problem, crews can analyze this data before they are dispatched, they can decide exactly what equipment they take with them, they can prioritize work, that's another level to the fact that citizens are giving us a good idea of the problem. Hopefully we're getting it fixed faster, getting the right crew out the first time, and all those things lead to higher satisfaction and a better customer experience. And those are all key things for most of our customers. When we talk about social media, a lot of the ideas there is that your customers may be talking about you and your services without talking to you. So they may be talking about it on chat sessions and on web blogs. They may be tweeting it, but the idea is that we can actually take a look at that information and analyze it and let that blend into your information you get on how well are we delivering services, what's the sentiment out there, do we have good intelligence on what the issues are and what we think the issues are versus what the public thinks they are, and if possible, maybe even get early warnings of issues. So we're going to talk about some good examples of that and some data we've had with a couple of trial projects we've run with some customers this year that had major events happen. We had New Orleans run a social media project that I'm going to be talking about at the conference, where we had a little hurricane come along as well as all the normal stuff they're doing, and it was interesting to see how they were able to track all of that around other major events like Mardi Gras, the Super Bowl, and other kinds of things. But all that information can be utilized to practically manage and take these dashboards of information and decide, what are we going to do about this? Do we respond? Do we not respond? This last slide is an example of when Hurricane Isaac came into New Orleans, some of the data they saw. So we're going to be talking about, we talked at last year's conference about this wave of social media coming in and how do you handle the volume, what do you do with all of that information. But now we've actually got people taking that information in, they're absorbing it, and they're doing things with it, and they're helping decide that. So we're going to be able to report some good results, just 1 year later from last year's conference. And when we talk about the next generation of smart service, we see these experiences you want to give your citizens across all channels. So it's really key that we've got products and capabilities around what we do at the call center, what we do on the web, internal and external. Sometimes we think about the customer being just those citizens, but there are a lot of customers that are city council members, executives, people on your team that you want to expose today to get access to information, and then blend that into this whole omni-channel engagement process where we can track everything going on across all the customer journeys and let the citizen communicate with us on their channel of preference. A good example that we'll wrap up with and some other stories is that we had a situation occur in the Northeast when we had Superstorm Sandy, and then we had the Nemo blizzard back in February, and it was really interesting. This is a slide that Justin Holmes from Boston shared with us, and it was an interesting thing that during that blizzard, for the first time ever, they had 2,222 unshoveled sidewalk reports. People reporting things in, indicating areas where they thought it might be dangerous. But it was interesting to note from the pie chart, 34% from the web, 30% from mobile, and 36% on the phone. That was a surprise. The majority of the requests came in not on the phone. They came in on the web and from mobile apps where they got photographs and saw exactly the problem. And again, it's just a further outtake of the citizens adapting to these new channels and new types of things. And we'll be talking a lot about some great examples of what we're seeing around how people are using those mobile apps when we see you in Tampa. All right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Gil Mesa from the city of Arlington, Texas. Gil, it's all yours.
Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate that. Hello, I'm Gil Mesa. I'm the Action Center Manager for the City of Arlington. And just to give you a little bit of background information about our operations, we are a 10-digit call center with a staff of about 8 agents. We serve a population of about 380,000 residents, and we're smack dab in the middle of Dallas-Fort Worth. For fiscal 2012, we were presented over 321,000 calls. And I have to start off by saying that telecommuting wasn't my original plan. I didn't start with the intention of having members of my staff work from home full-time. I'll admit, though, that the seed was planted by Don Stickney, Director at Minneapolis 311, when he spoke about his telecommute pilot program on a similar webinar as we're all here today. It didn't click, for me to have a telecommuting program for our operations. What I was mainly looking at was helping us become more mobile with our operations. And I'll give you a couple of examples of why I was going down that road. The past couple of years, we've experienced 2 very serious winter weather events here in North Texas. For you up east, Don, for you in Minnesota, our friends in Canada, these would probably just be normal winter days. For us, it was like snowmageddon. But what happened to us is that it impacted our services that we provide to our residents here because we had difficulty in getting staff into work. Again, one of the other issues that we had was when our base of operations actually lost power, and we had to relocate our entire staff to City Hall. It took about an hour for our IT group to mirror what our staff normally uses to answer calls. That was an hour of dead time that our residents were calling the city manager's office, City Hall, per se, complaining about nobody's answering the phones. Well, that's when it started to dawn on me, we need to think of something better. We need a better way to be more active in handling emergency situations. So I started brainstorming, and basically what I came to next was putting together a business case for a pilot telecommuting program. What I did was that I presented the information to my immediate assistant director and director, explaining to them how this could best serve our residents and could also serve our city to make sure that we're continuing to function because, again, we are the non-emergency main contact number for the city of Arlington. I was met with a little bit of skepticism and hesitation, but luckily for me, my immediate assistant director and director were really open to it. What I've done now is that I've actually started a pre-pilot testing program where I started slowly in basically testing the equipment myself. Later, I involved more of my staff as we moved on. Basically what I did was that I had them go to remote locations, be it a couple of offices down the road from us or going as far as 12 miles from where we're centrally located, and have them actually take calls. One of the things that we've learned during the pre-pilot testing is that we do have the technology available to help us immediately move to another location. And that kind of grew into the idea of actually having some of our staff work from home when we encounter other winter events, things that normally we haven't encountered before. These are things that I will be talking about, sharing with the folks that are going to be attending the 311 Synergy Group Conference, and I hope to see all of you there. And I'd like to now turn it over to Andy.
All right, thanks, Gil. That was really great. I appreciate that. So we're going to go ahead, and I've got some time here for question and answer. I'm not sure if anybody has any questions. Just go ahead and type them into the Q&A question block on the bottom right. I do see a lot of the things that people have talked about, how they, kind of meld in. So Don was talking about more technology, which Gil was mentioning. Donna talking about quality monitoring and how do you make sure you get a good service request. And, both, Con and Oracle had this customer experience and the mobile channel, and everybody wanted to have everything, brought in all together and viewed in a consistent framework. So there's a lot of, really key things. And I'm part of what's great about the conference is that it gets you a chance to have all of these discussions about, oh, now that you mentioned that, what about this? And you can get a group of 10 people together and just have a sidebar conversation. And it's really what makes the conference such a valuable chance to get together. And it's why we look forward to it so much every year. So I want to thank all the folks that did participate, and actually thank all of the presenters for staying, within the allotted time. That's great because it made the call move along. Are there any questions from anybody? Anything anybody needs to add in? Otherwise, what we can do is we can wrap the call up, let you all get back to your day, and look forward to you joining us in Tampa. Again, I want to thank Oracle, Con, AT&T, our Diamond sponsors for some of the great stuff that they're letting us do this year, and for their time on the call. Also for Don Sticky from Minneapolis, Bea Thomas from Garland, Donna Archea from Richmond, and then Gil from Arlington. Thanks for your time and expertise. Looking forward to your presentations in Tampa as well. So with that, there's no questions, there's no comments. Again, thanks to everybody, and we'll see you in a month.